I hate that freaking trade. All right.
Hey everybody, Paradigm Football. Malcolm Fultz here with Vernon Moore.
How you doing, guys? First off, want to start off by saying congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for making me look like a fool. But anyways, no, it was a great game. I like great Super Bowl games like that, so congratulations, Chiefs.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Kansas City. What a start to 2020. Bunch of teams wheeling and dealing, cranking out some trades. Who won? Who lost? We got some thoughts on that.
You're going to hear it now.
First off, the big news in the NFL world was DeAndre Hopkins traded out of town. Was traded to the Arizona Cardinals for David Johnson II. There's also some fourth-round picks in there. But primarily, Hopkins for David Johnson and a second-round pick. Vernon Moore here from Houston. What are your thoughts on that trade, man?
You know, I tried to be calm. I hate that freaking trade. All right, and I look at all my Facebook and all my friends on there, and they're just going crazy. You know, I understand if DeAndre Hopkins didn't get along with the coach or whatever. This is not about, for me, Hopkins getting traded from the Texans. I don't really care who they trade, who they get. But if you're going to trade a player, we all have to admit Hopkins is one of their star premier players. How are you going to trade Hopkins, get a washed-up scrub like David Johnson, and a second-round pick? Maybe you get a good wide receiver in the second round. It's a rookie receiver. You don't know. You know, I mean, who's going to fall to the second round? I don't know. Not DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, the Houston Texans being torn apart up and down because of this trade. Arizona Cardinals gave who they perceive to be a backup running back and a second-round pick for one of the greatest receivers in the league, one of the most consistent guys, a guy who was the #1 fantasy receiver with, like, Tyler Savage as his primary quarterback. He's gotten it done with bad quarterback play. And if you're the Houston Texans, you're a throwing football team. You got Deshaun Watson gunning it down the field. You're trading away your big guy. Now you got some small guys, Kenny Stills, Kiki Cutie. You're missing that big weapon. And for a running back, you already have a couple decent ones. That's going to be really tough. It's a completely different change of offense. I don't like it.
So, and when I first heard about this, I told Malcolm, you know what? Let's just pump the brakes. Maybe Houston has something up their sleeve. They have some kind of backup plan. Maybe they're going to trade and do some wheeling and dealing. We'll see. That's yet to be seen.
They did sign Randall Cobb, 30-year-old Randall Cobb, so they got another small guy.
Well, you know, maybe there's some more tricks up their sleeves. You know, Houston, that whatever they do, they're going to have us ready to go and pumped about next season. So something's going to happen where they're going to get a good trade. We're going to get our hopes up again, just like we do every year, and then they're going to smash them, you know? Or maybe they took a different approach. Maybe they said, you know what? We're not going to wait for the playoffs to smash Houston's dreams. Let's just do it right off the bat.
Another big trade that kind of went a little under the radar with that one and the one that we'll get to later was DeForest Buckner. Big all-pro piece of that San Francisco 49ers vaunted defensive line. Traded to Indianapolis for a first-round pick, a high first-round pick, the 13th overall pick in the draft. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great pick. I mean, that's a great trade. You know,
For who?
For both. I think for both teams.
Okay.
You know, I maybe not so much for the Colts as the 49ers. 49ers were they're that kid in school with all the good Pokemon cards, you know, in their deck, and they're like, hey, I got 5 Charizards. And then this kid over here, he's been struggling. He's got a couple of Pokemon cards, but he's got one holographic card. He's like, hey, I guess I'll trade you my holographic, you know, whatever it is for your Charizard. You know, that's kind of like how this deal is. You know, they got a good Pokemon card. They got DeForest Buckner. 49ers were sitting in a great position at the end of that season with all their defensive players. They had a whole bunch of defensive talent. Obviously, they couldn't pay them all, as we were talking about earlier. You got to get rid of somebody, and you hope that you're going to get something good for them. They got a freaking good pick. I think they tricked the Colts. Colts were in like freaking shock still from Andrew Luck's retirement, early retirement. They still haven't known. They haven't been recovered. They're like, you know what? Let's get something going here.
if you look at the trade without looking at the teams factoring in the situations, I think DeForest Buckner for the 13th overall pick in the draft is a relatively fair trade. It's the money is different, but you're getting a sure thing. But you have to look at the situation. Everything's contextual in this league. Like you said, for the 49ers, they got an extra guy. They're not going to be able to afford to pay DeForest Buckner. They paid Jimmy Ward, Eric Armstead. He's a great player. So they trade him away for a young first-round pick. That's going to work out. That's a good move. The Indianapolis Colts, they're not one star defensive tackle away. I don't know. You need to show me that you have a plan for me to believe in your organization. And when I look at the Indianapolis Colts, I think, what the hell are you doing? You're going out there and getting Phillip Rivers to be a starting quarterback? If you're going in with Phillip Rivers, you're not making a playoff push. Sorry. Did you see him play last year? So, to me, I'm thinking, what are you doing trading a first-round pick? Because you're not going to now draft a quarterback to sit behind Rivers. You trade away the pick. So, to me, what are you doing? You're not the team that should be making that kind of a move. So
right. I think they definitely, I mean, yeah, like you said, with equal value, that seems to be a pretty fair trade. With that team, I don't know. Colts have a problem anyways. And I think they were just going for a Hollywood slam dunk something, because what can they do unless they trade for a whole slew of picks or go around and get some, different trades going on around the league? I don't know. We'll see what the Colts do. I think they should have drafted a quarterback. I think they should have went for Herbert. Herbert, to me, is the quarterback in this draft that I would take. If there's any quarterback, and I know they're talking about, Tua. I don't know why, but they're talking about Tua, maybe because he comes from Alabama. They talk. I mean, the kid from LSU,
Joe
Burrow. He's going to be pretty good. He's got an accurate arm. He's a good quarterback. Not too high on him. That's just my personal feeling. I think he's a little bit arrogant. They should have went after Herbert. Herbert is that middle, long-term, gonna last quarterback.
And then the big trade to close it out hits us pretty close to home. We're Minnesota Vikings fans. Stefon Diggs traded to the Buffalo Bills. Kind of took me out of left field. We got quite the haul for Stefon Diggs. I gotta tell you what, guys. The writing was kind of on the wall. Stefon Diggs has been complaining. He was complaining when we were up 2 touchdowns once in the game, having to fit on the sidelines. This guy, there's something, he's a little too emotional. I don't think he's going to be happy in Buffalo for long, to be honest.
No.
But Rick Spielman said we weren't going to trade him. And I don't think we really necessarily would have, except for the absolute can't turn down offer we got from the Buffalo Bills. We got a first-round pick, 22nd overall, 5th-round pick, 6th-round pick, and a 4th-round pick next year. I mean, look at what the Houston Texans got for DeAndre Hopkins, and we're getting all that for Stefon Diggs? I'll take it.
Somebody must have had a gun to the Buffalo Bills' head when they did this trade. Like, hey, you're going to take Stefon Diggs, and we're going to get your whole draft class. Like, you just going to give them to us. You know what I'm saying? Because Diggs, to me, good talent, good receiver. I think, ranked 4th in the league or something like that for receivers. But he is cancer. Diggs is cancer. Diggs is a good receiver, but to Diggs, it's everybody else's fault. It's never Diggs' fault. And when I played football, when you play on a team where a player is blaming everybody else on the team for the problems in a year, you don't want to be around that kind of guy. I was ready and happy to see Diggs go. When I heard about the trade, I was just like, oh, please, we got to get something back for him. Please, Vikings, don't do what the Texans did. Learn. See, Texans used to be like us. You should be sitting here taking notes and learning how to actually negotiate a trade. Look what the Vikings did. Take notes, move on. Great trade for us. Bad for the Bills. Bills, that's just disgusting. You're going to be happy. I mean, maybe they get a piece and a weapon, but
I pump the brakes. I pump the brakes on that.
Disgusting.
I think the Buffalo Bills, it's not a terrible trade for him. What does Josh Allen like to do? He likes to throw the ball down the field. Stefon Diggs, one of the best deep ball guys in the league. I don't think he's necessarily going to be happy for too long, and I'm not as high on Josh Allen as a lot of people are. People in Buffalo love Josh Allen, think they finally got their franchise quarterback. If you look at the passing numbers, kid still hasn't thrown for 300 yards in a single game in his career. His Pro Football Focus analytics are pretty low. I'm a little worried about him, to be honest. But I think Stefon Diggs does kind of fit what Josh Allen likes to do. So it could be a decent thing, but I do think they gave up a little too much. Maybe they should have asked the Houston Texans, What do you want for Hopkins? Yeah,
That would have been great. They would have got the farm for. They would have got Hopkins and probably Texans' first round draft pick this year and whatever. And then all they would have to give up is whoever set the bench. Maybe they'd have to give up the water boy. I don't know.
So let us know what you guys think. Be sure to like, share this video, guys. A lot of people stuck inside, don't have a lot to do, and they want to hear about sports. They want to hear about the NFL and all these big trades. Please share the video and help us out a lot. Thanks so much, guys.
Yep. See you later, guys.